Here is the super branded 42-inch decorative ceiling fan in polished brass with medium oak cane blades. Sans the light. I forgot that I wanted to show it in both configurations. I was in the process of taking this down today to swap it for something else, and I realized that I never filmed it without the light. It looks very, very different without the light, as most fans do. It's hard to say which one I like better. I think in this case, I kind of liked it with the light. Polished brass fans, I think, really benefit from having a light because it adds a nice shine to the polished brass. But then on the other hand, there's plenty of polished brass fans I like without a light. You know, like a basic Landmark GE vent style fan, I tend to prefer without a light. I like it both ways, but anyway, so here it is without the light. It's very, very strange to see two pull chains on a fan with no light. That is pretty much an unheard of, non-existent configuration here in the US. I think the blades angling upwards is slightly more noticeable without the light. At some point I might install this in the living room so we can see if it works any better with a longer down rod configuration. I suspect that perhaps one of the reasons the performance is a bit lackluster is because of the blades angling upwards like that. I think it might be preventing good air recirculation back on top of the fan, and installing it in the living room on the longer rod would be able to either confirm or deny that theory. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on. We'll start with high, which of course is the fastest speed. I would expect the performance to be identical with and without the light. Can't get the best angles on this video because the room is kind of a mess right now. I have both the fan I'm going to be installing plus the box for this fan all over the floor and the wobbly stool. The blade pitch is really pretty satisfactory, all things considered, and it's running at a pretty good pace. That's why I really don't understand why it doesn't throw more air than it does. Okay, we'll move down to the medium. And the low, which of course is the slowest speed. I still can't believe how quiet this is for an SMC product. Almost every other SMC fan I've tested has a pretty significant hum and quite frequently lousy bearings. But this one has neither. I always like to show the fans from outside the room and from a distance, because sometimes that's how you see them out in the wild. Huh, I didn't realize that the chains say SMC. That's funny. I suppose it's still Shell Manufacturing Company even though it's branded Super, but at the same time it could also be Super Manufacturing Company. Huh, that's interesting. I wonder if they're all like that over there. Okay, now we'll cut it off. And here we have it, the Super Decorative fan without the light. Perhaps we'll see this again soon in the living room as a trial. I doubt that it will be powerful enough to handle that room, especially in the winter time when we need the heat to be pushed down. But it would be very interesting to try it out just to see how the performance is.